Having trouble getting your pupils from class to assembly, carpet time to activities, lunch to home time? Whatever the transitions may be, making them work for you and your pupils can be a challenge. From One Thing to Another is a practical guide to help you smooth out some of those rocky transitions. Induction expert Sara Bubb advises 2 NQTs in their first term of teaching. First meet Tamsin Wicks.
What made you come into teaching?
I've always wanted to be a teacher ever since I was 6. I remember playing schools with my little sister, and it's always been something that's been at the back of my mind. And my mum was a teacher.
And why did you come to this school?
I was looking at different schools in Lambeth, and I came to Crown Lane, and I did love it. It's very challenging, but it's really enjoyable, and it's very rewarding as well as you see them developing. And slowly but surely, we're getting there.
And meet Helen Weeks.
I'd always kind of thought about teaching, but never had a reason to go in. I just had my first daughter and thought, well, I'm having a great time, I'm really enjoying this, but I need something else. So to do a part-time PGCE and started, and it's been interesting, challenging.
Who else is ready? Sitting on your bottom, nothing in your hands.
So what about the transitions?
They're getting better, but I still feel all the transition times, not known how to manage them most effectively. Looking for ideas.
Away from the barriers, please. Lissandro!
The transitions, anything could happen. I mean, I've had fights and things thrown, children running out of the classroom, other children coming into my classroom who I don't know who they are, you know, things like this, and people joining the back of our line. But they are the hardest part of the day, but we're getting there.
Walking through and sitting on our carpet space. So if you can sit on your bottom counters in your carpet space. Ishmael, where's your carpet space? Good boy. Well done, Andrew. Sitting down on your bottom. Okay, going to take the register and you need to say good morning, Miss Wicks. So, good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Andrea.
So here you are, first thing in the morning. What do you think about how that's going?
Yeah, they've got their designated carpet spaces, so they know where to sit.
Right,
So that has diminished some of those kind of
Great, fantastic
problems.
Already that you got to that stage.
What do you need to say, Adrian? Thank you, Adrian. Good morning.
Do you find that children start messing around because of the time that things are taking, like the register and that sort of thing?
They can stay on the carpet for a certain time and then they're off. And
Because they're 5?
Yeah.
So the register, if you're going to make it a learning activity, take a decent length of time over it. If it's an administrative thing, do you have to call every name? Maybe you don't. You can see who's there. You don't necessarily have to have each child answer. Maybe think about perhaps your assistant taking the register so that you have, you know, I have eyes everywhere and I can sort out problems role.
That's funny because I never thought I could do it a different way.
Yeah. You must take the register, but how you take it doesn't matter.
Oh dear, Desio. Luke, hands on, please. Right, why don't you sit down and just ignore him? There's silly children in this class, aren't there? No. Please. Sit in your carpet place, please. Sit in your carpet place. You are not. Turn around and sit next to Anna, please. Thank you.
Mondays are usually the worst day of the week. In my first week, I sort of ended up exhausted in a heap at the end of the day, and my induction tutor said to me, oh, well, that's because it's a Monday.
It's your choice. You need to make the right one, please.
I mean, sometimes you just need to think, oh, goodness me, they're only 7 and 8.
Yep.
It's not the end of the world if they chatter for a couple of minutes. Or try and keep them busy. Okay, so as they come in, they are muttering their 10 times table in a whispering voice or whatever.
Good.
So you need to try and find something to keep them focused for those little bits of time when it could descend into chaos.
Does everyone understand? Yeah. You're working as a team, as a table, okay? I'm going to send the seahorses back first, please. Can everyone see how sensibly they are going to sit down?
When they're on the carpet, moving back to the tables, that's often a time when they misbehave. So I try and send them back one table at a time. Although sometimes I do get a bit impatient. If people are being too slow, I will send the next table and then think, no, shouldn't have done that because then it does create a ruckus.
Can I have my 2 book monitors, please?
I have monitors, which
that
change
works well?
every... Yeah, it does. They love it. They do enjoy it. And then, when are you going to change the monitors? And when can I be a monitor?
Okay. This group, very sensibly, you need to come and sit on this table with me and choose a book, okay? Off you go. So this is to help. I've only just discovered that actually you can put the books out on the tables before you start. The other end of the coin is when it's tidy up time, I kind of think, what do I do with the books now? Do I leave them out so that I can do a quick mark before I go to my next session? Or should I mark them straight away? Should I do it in my lunch?
Do you walk around with a pen constantly around your neck?
No.
Oh, that's a really handy thing. So you're going around talking to the children about the work well done. So while you're saying those things, also have your pen there so that you're getting a little bit of marking done. And another handy tip, particularly for Year 1 children, because they tend to write on whatever page
that's
appears to them, is to get some children to collect up the books already open. Save you a few minutes of
finding their page,
scrabbling around, it's upside down. That might help as well.
Which table is first line up? You're sitting so sensibly. Miss Rusty's table is first line up. You need to sit down on your bottom. Show me you're ready.
So here we can see Helen taking her class, I think to assembly, wasn't it,
right.
with this one. So what's working well and what's not so good with this?
The children nearest me are working fine. It's just, again, we've got a corner, so I have to go around the corner to get to assembly, and I'm just very conscious that I turn the corner, I don't know where the children are, and they always ask to go to the toilet, and I say no, and then they kind of do that I'm desperate thing. I think, oh gosh, it's better than to go on the floor in assembly.
Yeah.
So they've got the stragglers coming in.
Rhea, can you line up, please? And can the rest of you please go and line up in your order? Oh dear, we seem to have lost our order somewhere along the line.
We line up in a certain order now because that was something I realised quite quickly was not going to work with them all sort of lining up in their own order.
Just line up, please. You're not together, so move.
Now developed into another problem with transitions because although they're in an order which I know they won't talk to the person next to them, they're actually kicking up a fuss because they don't want to stand next to the person next to them. So
It's tricky, isn't it? Because these things assume an importance beyond the children's learning. So you do need to put these things into perspective. What matters is that they learn to read and write and socialise. And the ability to line up and get to assembly on time is of lesser importance.
Lewis, quietly.
And just do all that you can think of, like use your voice. So you're going to talk very slowly, very quietly. You're going to tiptoe like little mice. Keep them with you and get them there as quickly as possible with fewest stops. So, you know, timer. Let's see if we can do it by the time the sands run out.
But it's the same with going to music because we've got about 6 flights of stairs. And now I can hear at the bottom some of the children shouting their head off, and I'm at the top and I'm thinking,
do you walk in the middle of the line?
No, I always walk at the front.
Okay, maybe try about the middle. You could also, you know, delegate some of the management of that to the children.
Yeah.
The line manager is going to be at the front.
Of course. So
you'll probably have a back of the class manager as well. Right. The children are ever so good at being sensitively bossy and listening to each other. Oh, manager. Do you think the back of the class is ready? No.
Okay, so give
all those, you know, it's kind of sharing responsibility.
Yeah.
Helen, off the banister. Off the banister. Walking.
But as well as Helen, we have to go up a flight of stairs to get to music. And I stand at the top of the stairs and think, I can hear them. And I know that the rest of the class are swinging on the banisters, and there's a little level that they all jump up onto and then walk up that instead of walking up the stairs.
Much more fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've got the same problem, but I think the line managers is a really good idea.
Away from the barriers, please. Alessandro!
I would still worry about the front of the line, though, being at the back, but should I just trust them?
Well, you know the kind of children you've got and you train them. So I think just making everything really explicit. So we're going to stop at this picture. And when I say go, we move on or whatever. So it's all those kind of absolutely planning with military precision and kind of assuming all the things will go wrong because you know they will.
Monitor today. Who's shown me very good sitting? Come on. What happened? You weren't looking where you were going. Sitting behind. Right. Who am I going to choose for milk? Well, I could choose Fatu because she's doing the right thing. Can't choose you, Dexter, can I?
So now the children coming in after lunch, it's always a really tricky time, isn't it? How does that go?
What I've started to do is, after taking the register, I choose the milk monitors. So they have their milk and then I read a story. It's nice, but they are still spending rather a long time on the carpet.
Yeah.
You know.
Or maybe they could have their milks at the tables. And then they move the carpet. That'll give them a little bit more moving time. But having them sitting still for 40 minutes is not a good idea. So maybe you could do some little games on the carpet, singing songs, action songs, something that's going to keep them focused.
Sheets and the pens, please. Brandon, go and sit in your seat, please. Sit in your seat, please. It's your first warning. No, don't hold me. Right, sit down then. Hello.
You don't have a teaching assistant in the afternoon.
No, not in the afternoons.
And nor a break, nor a playtime.
It's when the children are at their tiredest and they're getting a bit fed up of it. You know, it can be a bit of a nightmare.
And do you find the positive stuff works at that time, or is that the time for getting in the sanctions and the cross-face?
Do try the positive stuff first, sort of noticing which table have actually settled down to their work, and it's, you know, sometimes it is enough just to say, oh, well, you know, look at the seahorses, aren't they working beautifully? Table names.
Samaha, can you either hurry up or sit down?
You need to kind of like recognise that you just want to... and look at you sitting beautifully. You know, you just need
takes
to kind
a lot more energy, I think.
I know, but in a way, it's so, you know, tenfold more
definitely.
Successful. Yeah.
Hey, I thought I was looking for the quietest table.
We try and tidy up as tables, and again, trying to be the best table. It's never quiet. So
do you ever play music during tidying up time?
I don't actually. That'd be quite a good idea.
Playing them some music, you know that the track's going to last 3 minutes, so all the tidying up has got to be done in that time. And you know, you're going to be very disappointed if you see anyone not tidying.
Yeah.
Won't be able to play the nice music.
Look at Amy, so super sitting. She's not talking, she's listening. Home time, I think they're so tired and they've got no impetus to be good. They're just kind of like seals on a beach.
Poor things.
Harry, go. One of the kids was trying to come back in for no reason, so I just shut the door and said, home time, you know, because they'll just loiter, which is bizarre that they want to loiter, actually.
Because
they
love you.
Want to run away.
So there are so many transition points in a day. I think if you get those cracked, all your behaviour management issues will really lessen, if not disappear. And then you can get thinking about teaching and learning.